Good morning everyone. Stephanie Denman from the Denman Homestead. And today I wanted to show you how I meal prep breakfast for our busy weeks. And oftentimes I'll do like breakfast tacos that the kids love to grab and go, but today I'm going to be doing some breakfast sandwiches. So they're made out of English muffins, eggs, some sausage, or you could do bacon or Canadian bacon, and some cheese. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by cracking some eggs in a bowl. And basically you would just want like one or two eggs per muffin. But what I've done is I've got my Pyrex glass dish here and I've just kind of sprayed it down with some nonstick spray. And I'm going to scramble up some eggs and pour it into this dish. I'm going to do, some of my eggs are kind of small, but I'm going to do probably 10 eggs in it. I do have extra English muffins, but I also want the eggs to be thick enough. So just 6 eggs would be very, very thin on this dish. I'm going to do 12 eggs for this dish so that I have enough. Okay, so I have my 12 eggs in this bowl and I'm going to go ahead and scramble them real quick and add some salt and pepper. I'm just going to dump it in my dish here. Okay, so I have my dish with my scrambled eggs. I'm going to set this aside really quick because next I'm going to take my cookie sheet pan and my English muffins. I'm going to split these open and lay them out on the sheet pan. I've always wondered if they call English muffins in England, or if they're just muffins. So if you're from England, let me know. Do you call English muffins in England? I think it's so cool how in different regions of the world people call things different things. Like we call French fries, which are the fried potato strips. And in other parts in the world, they call them chips. It's interesting to me. Like fish and chips are like, is fish and French fries. What do you call a chip if a chip is a French fry? Okay, so I've got my English muffins here and my eggs here. So I'm going to pop both of them in the oven, a 350-degree oven, for about 12 to 15 minutes. Check it at 12, and if they're done, then you can take it out. But then if your eggs look like they're runny still in the middle, just leave it in there for a couple more minutes. Okay, I've also decided I'm gonna add in some Canadian bacon. So I've just picked up this pack of Canadian bacon and I'm going to just put it on the skillet, warm it up, get it a little brown on each side, and add these to our breakfast English muffins. All right. So I've got my eggs, my meats. I did some bacon, some Canadian bacon. I went ahead and did some fried eggs as well. Caden and Alora really like fried eggs, but I went ahead and popped the yolks as I was frying them so that when you bite into it, it doesn't like, you know, drip everywhere. And Connor is my scrambled egg kid, so I've got my scrambled eggs here and then my English muffins. And then yesterday I cooked some biscuits. So I had these leftover biscuits, and I went ahead and cut them in half. So I'll do some breakfast biscuits and some breakfast English muffins. So I've got like a variety going on here. But what I've got is my little circle cutter out of my, got this cool little kit that has a bunch of different rings in it, different sizes. And I've got one here that I kind of just matched up with the size of my English muffin that I think would work well with the English muffin. And I'm just going to basically cut out little circles of my eggs. And the kids really love these because it's kind of like fast food, but from home and healthier, I think. And there's going to be some extra egg left over, and you can, I'm going to eat that myself later, or you can give it to your dogs or whatever you'd like. But the way I assemble these is I've got this pack of foil, and these are pretty cool because these little sheets are actually, I got this from a beauty supply store for hair. Like people who do hair, they have those foil sheets in a box. And I've had this stack of foil sheets for years. Like the box is huge, and they're perfect. They're a perfect size for making these little mini sandwiches on the go, or like breakfast burritos. So, I mean, it's foil. It's nothing, there's no chemicals on it. There's nothing. It's just like little pre-cut sheets for hair salons, but they work really well in this instance. So I'm just going to take a top and a bottom of an English muffin. Well, let me find a top. Here we go, a top and a bottom of an English muffin. I'm going to lay down my piece of my egg. You can order it however you'd like. I'm going to sprinkle some shredded cheese on top, and then a piece of meat. And that is it. And then I'm going to roll this up in foil. And these will be in the refrigerator for the kids to grab and go in the mornings, or if your kids are like my kids, they will eat breakfast all 3 meals of the day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So yeah, I'm just gonna continue to put these all together. And you can freeze them. They do freeze. You just have to defrost them. You can make a whole batch of these, stick them in the freezer, and then I just suggest that you throw a couple of them in the refrigerator for them to defrost overnight. And then you just heat them up in the microwave for like a minute, and then they're good to go. So yeah, it's really quick. This was a biscuit. It's gonna be a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit. And I'm making 12 of these, and these will probably last like 3 days, if that. Like, my kids can eat some of these. Let me take a fried egg. Quick question for you guys. Do you have any guilty pleasures? So one of my guilty pleasures is, you might, I don't know, may or may not be surprised to know, but I really love true crime. I enjoy listening to like true crime podcasts in the car, or when I'm on the treadmill at the gym. I have a really funny story about an incident I had. My poor local tire company, like we have a discount tire that we go to for our tires, like when we need new tires or if we have a flat or something, we go to Discount Tire. But Anyway, I have a story where I needed to get, oh, that's what it was. Buddy's truck needed new tires. So I took his truck for him into the tire shop. And I was listening to one of my true crime podcasts on the way there. And I think it was like Ted Bundy or something. And I had paused it on my phone. So when I went inside, I was talking to the people at the check-in register and whatever. So they pulled my truck back and did the tire stuff. And then when the truck was ready, this little teenage boy comes up to me and he hands me my keys, and he seems like really upset, not upset, but maybe just like distracted or something. But he's like, "Here you go, ma'am, here's your keys." And he like sprints off. And I was like, man, he must be really busy. Come to find out, he had left my truck, in front of the building where like a lot of people were standing outside, and the driver's side door was open and my stereo system was on. And I guess when they cranked the engine to turn it back on to bring it to me, it automatically started playing my podcast through the Bluetooth speaker system. It was like, and he served their whatever at a barbecue. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I was mortified because everyone around was like hearing on like my stereo system about like someone being, unalived. And that was just one embarrassing story I've got plenty of embarrassing stories of that tire shop. I don't know what happens whenever I go there, but it's like I can't go there anymore. Buddy knows that I don't go to that tire shop anymore because I've embarrassed myself too much. But yeah, true crime, definitely one of my guilty pleasures. I don't like scary movies though. I don't like jump scares. I don't do horror, gory, but I will go to bed perfectly fine watching a movie on Jeffrey Dahmer. Like, I have no problems. Like, I don't know. I'm just like, oh, okay, I'll go to sleep. Like, that's my guilty pleasure. True crime. It's fascinating to me. The mind of those people are just like, I don't know, something about it. Anyway, I'd love to hear what your guilty pleasure is. That's mine. Like, Steph, you're always so calm and peaceful. Maybe that's why, because I listen to everyone else be chaotic. I don't know. While I'm doing this, I'll go ahead and tell you another. My other embarrassing story. Well, I have three, but anyway, so one time I was at the tire shop getting tires on the RV or something. I can't remember which one this was, which time this was, but I was wearing kind of a long dress, like a sundress, and a little sweater on top, like a little half sweater. And I was sitting down and they had called me to come pick up my key, like called me to the desk area or whatever. So I went up there and these people were kind of like, when I was walking back, they were like putting their heads down, like not looking at me. I was like, what the heck, like, okay. Come to find out, when I walked outside, felt a breeze, my dress had static clinged to the back of my sweater. Yeah. Didn't feel it inside. Felt it when I walked outside. So everyone there got a good look at Steph's backside. So So after that and the, you know, true crime podcast episode, I refuse to go back. Refuse. It's just not meant to be. I'm not meant to be there. I'm so sorry, Discount Tire, off of 59. Anyway, so I'll show you what I have left in this little container. And you know what you probably could do? You could cut it in squares. That way there is no, you could make them little squares on here. That way there's not a whole lot left over, because there's quite a bit left over. But I haven't had breakfast this morning, so I'm gonna eat this with some bacon. But anyway, so I'm gonna finish assembling all of these, and I've got a good stack going here. And like I said, they're just grab and go, kind of like breakfast tacos. If you make breakfast tacos, we do in bulk. But these are super easy, and they're so cost efficient. So if you do the math, if you grab breakfast to go, you know, like through a drive-thru or whatnot, like when you do the math on how much it costs for a pack of English muffins, 6 eggs, 6 pieces of bacon, and some cheese, like these are like, I'm not kidding, I've done the math on them before, like 30 cents a piece. They're super cheap, super cost effective, and healthy for you because you make them at home and you know what's going in them, you know what kind of oils that you've used, how long that they've been sitting out, how long the ingredients that you bought you know, are being used. So there's all different sorts of benefits on cooking your own stuff at home. Not to say that we haven't ourselves gone through the drive-thru and picked up some of these things before, and we still do, but when I have the time, I prefer to make our own breakfast at home that we can just grab and go, and it just, you know, makes life easier. So anyway, thanks for hanging out with me today in the kitchen for my breakfast meal prepping, and I hope you have a fabulous day. Bye.